Welcome, guys. Bienvenidos to episode 3 of our Solamente Soccer Podcast. Today we're going to be discussing the Libertadores game week 1, all the results that happened.
And that we got wrong.
Exactly. You can see how much of a fraud we are. Today, you might notice just a little bit of a difference. We are in a little bit different of a studio. Our production has ramped up quite a bit from our second episode.
Escalated quickly.
Yes, very, very quickly.
We heard you guys.
We heard all the advice, all the criticisms. We just wanted to bring a better product out. So you might notice the light differences, also our audio. So we're trying to get better for you guys. But let's get right into it. Rino, it was an exciting first match week. We had a lot of results that unexpected, and then expected in some sort of cases. So let's review some of the scores. Let's start off with Internacional versus Universidad Católica, 3-0. We're going to be talking a little bit about Internacional and one of their players later on, as we will be introducing a new segment into our show.
Yeah, love it.
We're very excited about, so I'll talk about that in just a little bit. But your quick thoughts, what do you think of this Internacional 3-0?
It's a great result for Inter, but especially for Coudet, their coach, because he had a lot of criticism that he was playing very defensive when he was not. The majority of the criticism was because he was playing with 3 CDMs.
Yeah.
And we know that necessarily playing with 3 defensive guys doesn't mean we're playing defensively, but they have different functions in the team during the game. For example, Real Madrid plays with 4 CDMs.
Basically.
And they're still killer. They still do really well.
Exactly.
So that was great to end the criticism. He was playing a 4-1-3-2 formation with Paulo Guerrero and D'Alessandro up front. Also in a way to give D'Alessandro some more freedom and energy, so he doesn't need to go back in defense. He can press up front and do what he has to do.
And D'Alessandro being late in his late 30s,
He's
right
38,
now.
I believe.
38. I mean, that's amazing, and I've always loved him just because of how he's able to move freely around in the field. I can't agree with you even more. I mean, 3-0. What a way to really silence everyone and say this is where the team's going. We're going in a great direction. Universidad Católica is not a small team by any means in Chile.
Not at all.
Great result for them. I believe in their next game, they possibly might get América de Cali. They play Gremio. In the Clásico there.
The Grenal.
Yes, so we'll be seeing how they continue there. As we move forward in Group E as well, América de Cali lost 2-0 to Gremio. At home, they lost. What do we make of this result? I mean, to be honest, América de Cali, we said, is not coming with that same ability and that skill that Gremio is possessing.
Yes. Not even close.
Regardless of it being in Colombia, which is, a very big criticism for Gremio was, okay, you guys are going to Colombia. It might not be as easy, but Gremio really showed
easy.
Their skill is just over the top on that sort of a case. What do you make of that quick result right there?
Yeah, it was I'm not gonna say it's a cakewalk, which is not. It was easy. It was easy for them, and a lot of people were concerned. Oh, they're gonna play against Cali.
Yeah.
In Cali, and I was all the time. I was just like, for real.
Well, the thing in South America is we heavily rely on history to give predictions, because a lot of people will say the same thing about Peñarol. Oh, Peñarol is tough, but from a Peñarol fan, you're like, we're easy right now. We're very much of a but it's that respect.
We respect each other too much.
Exactly.
Sometimes way too much.
Way too much that we give each other credit for. Moving forward, we have Defensa y Justicia losing at home 2-1 to Santos. We really started off with the 3 Brazilian teams here. Santos, great result for them. I mean, Defensa y Justicia, we predicted at the first episode, not right there at that level.
Even though they're having a great run.
They are, 100%.
I believe 5 games undefeated before this game, and
in 2020 they were
undefeated 2020 with under a great coach that nobody remembers.
Yes.
But he's a great former player in Hernan Crespo, the Argentinian striker.
Yes.
So I was not surprised by Santos, but I was not expecting them to win that game.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that.
And especially the way that Defensa y Justicia is playing, they're known for their solid defense all throughout. So you would think that they would have maybe gone out with a point, maybe scraped by and got a victory. But
yeah, exactly.
But Santos really just showed, I guess, more of their veteranship in being in that sort of situation in the Libertadores. Moving forward, we have one of the surprises. Caracas won, Boca Juniors won in Venezuela. Rino, give me your thoughts about this. What do we think of Caracas? Great.
What I think?
Yes.
What I think about Caracas?
Yeah, not what do you think of Caracas, but what do you make of this for Boca in the future, and what do you think of Caracas? Do they now make a push?
They wasted. No, Caracas is not gonna make a push. I'm sorry, but Boca lost an opportunity to get 3 points.
Yes,
that's for sure.
I mean, it really showed the lack of depth in Boca Juniors' squad. That's for sure. Because obviously they just recently, yesterday at the time of recording today, Sunday, Saturday, they won the Superliga. They beat River on the final match.
So happy.
The match
not because of Boca, but because of River.
Because of River losing. The thing is, being able to pull off a point against Caracas obviously is not the ideal result, but it's not putting you in a situation where, okay, we're down, we got 0 points after the first match week. Obviously, Boca should have done better. And they have the ability to do better, especially with the teams that they
definitely.
have. But it was just a surprise that Caracas was able to pull off a point and make it more respectable in their run in the Libertadores. On the other side of that Group H, we have Independiente de Medellin that lost 2-1 to Libertad at home in Colombia. What do we make of that?
Another result that I was not surprised.
Really?
I was expecting 2-1. Independiente Medellin, they have enough offense to score a goal against Libertad, but Libertad it's a great team, great players, not the best players. They're not gonna do something great in Libertadores, but 2-1, that's more than an expected result for these teams and where they are right now. I also wouldn't be surprised if we went 2-1 Independiente de Medellin. Because they're very similar.
Yeah, on any other given day, it could have gone the other way easily.
Yeah, I would just say Libertad just because
coming in at a better moment.
And they have more history. So, like I said, we respect teams too much. So that's another factor.
Moving on to Group A, as we have Barcelona Guayaquil, who was put into Group A after a playoff, lost 3-0
Independiente del Valle
at home to Independiente del Valle. I think that this is a classic case of what we have in Spanish, in our Uruguayan culture, el rodaje, which is like the ongoing. They already were
the momentum,
playing. Yeah, they were playing Flamengo previously, who's a very strong side.
I'll let you know that.
Yeah. No, I will easily admit that. But 3-0. I mean, not a bigger blow to Barcelona than that could have been. I mean, especially
Definitely.
at home. One of the problems that I saw Barcelona get into was playing a lone striker of Fidel Martinez, which I very much go against any tactics where you have a 5'9" striker, weak, who cannot hold on to the ball, and you're just bombing balls he gets behind the line.
It seems like such a common sense, right?
You would think so, but to South Americans, they really relay speed to be the overall factor over everything else.
Yeah, long balls and speed, that's
Exactly. That's what I think Atlético Nacional in 2016 really heavily relied on. They were a very fast team that were able to really get in behind the line, and they changed
but
that.
But they had great players.
They had great players,
but not amazing players.
They had that was their primary strengths, was that speed of playing. Obviously, it didn't work out for Barcelona there. As we move on to your team, Flamengo 2-1 to Junior Barranquilla. What are we thinking of this?
You know what I think?
What?
We're adding OTO PATAMAR.
OTO PATAMAR. Let's let them know. I mean, OTO PATAMAR. I believe we explained it a little bit in the next episode.
In the last episode, and you guys are gonna have a surprise in a couple of minutes.
Yes. But what do you think of the result? Flamengo, obviously out with a couple of players.
Aran, Rafinha. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Aran, Rafinha, and who else? Aran, Rafinha. Oh, and the main man. The main man.
Yes.
Or the second main man, whatever you feel like it. Bruno Henrique. Mm-hmm. He was injured after the first leg of the Independiente del Valle game in the Copa Sudamericana. He scored a goal, and at the same moment he injured his ankle, I believe.
And it's still out. Is he looking forward to playing in that next match next week? Or?
Yes. He played the game yesterday. against
And if Flamengo's performing like this,
against Botafogo.
if Flamengo's playing like this away from home with three
Players
players that are out, I mean,
but Junior is also not a big threat.
that is true.
They used to when they had the Yimi Chará, that's
Yeah.
in Portland Timbers right now, and when they had Vitor Cantillo, a big loss in their midfield that it's now playing in Corinthians in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not surprised about the result. Definitely not because I'm a Flamengo fan, but like if you keep with South American soccer, like Flamengo right now, it's the team to be.
It is a team to beat. Yeah, especially.
I forgot to mention the biggest investor for Junior Barranquilla. He was giving extra money to the players if they beat Flamengo.
Oof.
They're like, oh, we know it's gonna be tough, but you guys have to beat Flamengo. That's the thing we guys.
Nothing like money to motivate the players.
Exactly. It still didn't work.
And it still didn't work. Let's move on here as we get into Group B right now. We're kind of all over the place. But Tigre losing 2-0 to Palmeiras at home in Argentina. Predictable. I mean, we said that Tigre it doesn't have that level fully yet right now. And this group really isn't showing a lot of surprises. I mean, let's move forward real quick to Guarani winning 2-0 against Bolivar.
Predictable.
Very calculated in that sort of a sense. This group, to me, not offending anyone, is the most boring to me. Just because you really do see, I really do call Palmeiras and Guarani.
I cannot agree, but I cannot deny.
Exactly. I mean, Palmeiras and Guarani is just the clear-cut winners for me in those groups. Would you agree with that, or do you think that any of the Bolivar or Tigre can make a run and get into it?
You're kidding me?
Okay, that settles that. That settles that. Let's move on to Group C right now. We have Jorge Wisterman beating Colo-Colo 2-0 in Bolivia. Obviously, there was some altitude right there. But I don't think that even if there was altitude, that this would be any situation with Colo-Colo. Because right now they are without a coach. They are without any direction. Yesterday, news broke out that Scolari, former Brazil coach of
former world champion, former 7-1 devastation.
The highlight that he wants to forget, basically.
Pretty much.
But Scolari did deny Colo-Colo of the coaching job, which is a very big blow to them because that was their number one that they were really trying to count on. We'll see where they go in that case. I hope Peñarol will get to them right before they even get another coach so we can maybe get a result there. But Wilstermann, they're a solid side regardless of them being in the Bolivian league. Always very tough to play them at home.
Definitely.
It's predictable to me in this case of like where everything was going in the situation. Next up in Group C, Atlético Paranaense versus Peñarol.
I'm going to let you talk about that one.
Paranaense, I think, is they won 1-0 to Peñarol. Very difficult arena to play in, I should say. The turf ground is difficult in itself. For Peñarol, any of the passes they were usually simple, maybe 15-yard passes, just the ball sprints past them. Peñarol just has to do better. Forlan still hasn't decided on a tactic. He played with the 4-4-2 last game. Now, in the past game in the Uruguayan league, they played with a 3-5-2 as well. So that's something, a 3-4-3. And that's something completely new, and every Uruguayan hated it because it's something new. Peñarol just has to be better, I think, in the sense of passing, shooting, having someone up top that they can rely on. I mean, it was just one team completely on another level than Peñarol, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, you could come back, you can let me know. What do you were texting me and saying, "Don't worry, you guys got this." And then I said, I know Peñarol. I know Peñarol, and I know 100% where that was going. But yeah, they have to do better. Peñarol plays Jorge Wilson.
But don't feel so bad, okay?
It
took us 30 years to win against Atletico in their home turf. So
it is very difficult, very, very difficult. As we move on to Liga de Quito beating River Plate 3-0, obviously in altitude in Ecuador. River Plate having a horrible week.
Cannot complain about that.
Yeah, River played with the B team. Oso Prato being the only one I believe that usually is the starter. Even their goalkeeper was, I believe, second or third string goalkeeper. as well. He got sent off in the 75th minute, I believe. Great result for Quito. I mean, they couldn't have gotten River Plate at a better time when they were really just trying to win the Superliga. But River really just has, I think, with the same thing that we scold Boca for, River has to get that same backlash too. They are a side that needs to be better, even on their second string, even on their third string. I know that
that only shows that they lack depth.
Yeah, 100%.
They lack depth.
And I mean, that's not the case with other teams like Flamengo, who's doing it really well and really making sure that depth is something that they have. River Plate, just terrible week for them.
Terrible.
Absolutely.
And they're getting older. Like as we said in the first episode, they're getting older.
And Poncio, I believe, was their only starting center back, and it was just a nightmare for them. Especially with the speed of
They
Quito
don't want
in
to
the
remember
second
that
half.
game, that 3-0.
Let's move on there. Group G, Delfin tying 1-1 with Olimpia, the team with Adebayor. He was on the bench. That was his debut.
I think he was subbed.
He was subbed in. 1-1. What do you think of this for Delfin? Good result.
Good result for Delfin, and I'm gonna say it's a good result for both because they're in the same category as Libertad and Independiente Medellin. They're in the same level.
Yeah.
So like a draw.
It's even
good.
for
It's
them.
even.
Yeah. Moving into the final two games, Deportivo Binacional surprising Sao Paulo 2-1 in altitude in Peru.
São Paulo.
Sao Paulo, you called them and said,
Boom or bust.
yeah, boom or bust, pretty
Boom
much.
or bust.
And right now it's busting a little bit. It's busting a little bit.
Oh, and they lost 1-0 today.
Oh.
So
I
here we
mean-
go. Next game, it might be the last game for Fernando Diniz. It might be his last game if they don't win against who they play next? LDU. They play against LDU at home.
Mm-hmm. So that's a tough game in
So
itself.
yeah. But they can win. But if they lose, that's a bye-bye for Diniz, in my opinion.
I can't imagine that Dani Alves is happy right now.
Oh yeah.
Moving on to the final game that happened on Thursday, Alianza Lima losing 0-1 to Nacional. Nacional scoring a goal in the first minute, I believe it was 67 seconds in. Santiago Rodriguez gets an over-the-top ball, goes around the keeper. Great talent, I believe.
I'm surprised you were saying that.
He's a great talent. I mean, I'm not going to deny. I'm not one of these Peñarol fans that I'm like, no, they're the worst. They're the worst. I believe in Nacional's youth system just as much as I believe it in Peñarol's because they always produce great players. And that just showed you Santiago Rodriguez, who stepped up in that game. They also brought in Thiago Vecino, who's also another youth academy product. This team can very well go into the knockout stages and really cause some problems for Diego Munua's team in that sort of a case. But we'll see how everything goes, as we would like to introduce our first real segment that we're really putting into this podcast.
We're very excited for that.
We really want to introduce the segment OTO PATAMAR. Basically, you guys have heard OTO PATAMAR. It is the catchphrase now that has been trending all through Brazil. Bruno Henrique drunkenly and previously in
a game against Vasco, Flamengo's biggest rival.
Exactly. Said the phrase, "We are OTO PATAMAR." Basically, on
estamos
another level.
Patamar.
Exactly. And then we saw it in a drunken video after the Libertadores,
Oh, yes.
so that continued. I mean, it's a great phrase. We really want to make sure that our audience starts saying it all over and we start spreading this this word. So basically, just for the OTO PATAMAR segment, we were going to be highlighting 3 players that we believe really performed well, and then picking our OTO PATAMAR player of the week. So our 3 players that we have set after this week is Paolo Guerrero. Let's start off with him. 2 goals, 1 assist, 6 shots on target out of 6 shots. I know you're not the biggest fan of Paolo Guerrero, just because of what he did to Flamengo.
Useless years in Flamengo.
Yes.
3 useless years, that's for sure.
But I mean, in Inter, he's really found
doing
his
well.
strive. He found his strive. I think he is one of those players where he really needs to be under the right system, or else he doesn't perform.
Exactly.
And it's his way or the highway, pretty much. So
great way to describe
it. Exactly, because then everything else just goes south. Moving on, we have a player from Flamengo, Everton Ribeiro. Great game for him. 2 goals, 3 key passes within the game. Even had his second goal was beautiful. It was just a great counterattack goal from Flamengo. What do you make of this for Everton as a Flamengo fan?
Great for Everton, great for Flamengo, but I've seen games that he performed a lot better without scoring these goals. So I would. Great performance, obviously. You cannot say two goals is a bad performance.
You can't deny.
But he's definitely not my player of the week.
Okay. Well, maybe this one will, because you were surprised when I mentioned him via text. And that is Junior Sornosa. 1 goal, 1 assist, 3 shots, and then 6 key passes on his debut goal for the Libertadores right there for this year. Why were you so surprised for Junior Sornosa there?
Why?
Yeah. Let the people know what.
First, because Junior Sornosa, if you've been keeping up a little bit for Brazilian soccer, or you're a Corinthians fan, you know. Yeah. That's all I have to say. You know. So I was very surprised that he did well, because last season he scored twice in 60 games and assisted 6 times, which is not a lot. So 8 goal situations created in 60 games for a guy that you're supposedly your best player.
Yeah.
That's not, or you're the main player in your attack, in your midfield. It's not really good. So I was surprised when he got these numbers.
I mean, for being an attacking minded almost midfielder, because he wasn't fully playing striker, he was playing a little bit more in the back. It's amazing. It's a great game. I mean, that is my pick for the player of the week. I think it's the same one for you. So for our first week, OTO PATAMAR player of the week, I think we will give it to Junior Sornosa for that brilliant performance.
Do you know what's the ironic thing?
What?
He's our first OTO PATAMAR player.
Yeah.
But he's also the player that's definitely not in OTO PATAMAR.
Oh, he's not in
He's never been OTO PATAMAR.
He better enjoy this award, because he's not getting it again. That's what you're thinking.
15 minutes of fame.
Of fame is gone. That's funny. I mean, moving on to the next part, let's talk about the next week's games. Obviously, the Libertadores is moving forward. Let's get our predictions. Kind of quick fire here. Santos Delfín, Santos at home. What are we thinking there?
2-0 Santos.
I completely agree. I think Delfín doesn't have if they can come in with the attitude that they had, great. If not, I really don't see them winning anything there. Universidad Católica playing against América de Cali in Chile. I'm going to go ahead and say 2-1 Universidad Católica.
I'm going to say 2-1 América de Cali.
Okay. So we'll see about that. I mean, I think América de Cali just doesn't have the quality this year to really move forward. So we're going to see about that. Club Bolívar versus Tigre.
0-0. 0-0. Nothing else to say. Let's move on.
Next up, Club Libertad versus Caracas. Libertad, I think, has this one 2-0. 2-0. Boca Juniors, Independiente de Medellín. Both something to prove. Boca now the champion.
1-0 because of the hangover.
Because of the hangover that they're going to have. Carlitos Tevez is going to be a little
tipsy.
Yeah, a little tipsy still. Yeah. Especially if he was partying with Maradona.
Oh yeah. He kissed him before the game.
Yeah,
so.
He transferred. That's what I said. That transferred over the powers. Yeah. Palmeiras playing at home against Guarani. What do we think there?
2-1.
2-1.
2-1's a fair result.
River play at home now against Deportivo Binacional. This has to be the game that River steps up. I see them winning.
They have to step up. So I'm going to say 4. 4.
It's going to be, it has to be a dominating performance by River.
Definitely.
Or else Gallardo, I think people are going to start wondering about Gallardo's team.
The team, yeah, but not about him.
No, not about him, but his team, I'm saying, in the strength that they have this year. Colo-Colo playing against Atlético Paranaense at home in Chile.
1-0 Atlético.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
I completely agree in that case. Peñarol Wilstermann. I can easily see Peñarol winning 2-1 with the final goal within the last 10 minutes. But I could also see Wilstermann pulling through and winning 2-0. So it could go either way in this case. It's a fair assessment, I think, how we've been coming. Club Olimpia playing at home against Defensa y Justicia. This is a good game. Maybe Defensa y Justicia could pull off a point, maybe. Yeah. Maybe 1 or 2. But I think Club Olimpia will really... They have a better quality.
But I think Defensa can win too.
You think so?
I believe it can be a 0-2 game.
We'll see about that one.
Don't undervalue my Defensa y Justicia. They are putting their names
They are
over.
here. Yes, that is true. Sao Paulo at home versus Liga de Quito. Great game.
1-0.
1-0. And he keeps
One
his
to
job.
go,
And he keeps
and
his
he keeps the job, and Patos becomes the new legend for São Paulo because they don't have anyone decent in that team.
until the next
Sorry,
party.
not decent. They do because they have Dani Alves, but I mean like they don't have that guy that, oh my
Consistent.
God, the best split. No, it's going to be Pato. Pato's going to score and everybody's going to freak out about him ever again.
And then a party's going to happen for Pato.
And then he's going to become trash again.
Independiente del Valle at home versus Junior Barranquilla.
Independiente del Valle 3-0.
Yeah, I think Junior
The
just
altitude
doesn't
is going to
have
help them.
Yeah, 100% right there. Flamengo, your team versus Barcelona Guayaquil. If Barcelona play with Fidel Martinez up top, it's going to be 4-0 Flamengo easily. 4-0. Like this. You agree?
Can I disagree? I can't, right?
No,
I know.
mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Nacional playing at home against Estudiantes de Merida. Really? Nacional should win this. Pretty simply. 2-1. I can see them struggling just a little
I
bit.
think it would be a problem if they won only by 1 goal.
Yeah, but you also got to realize it's a Uruguayan league.
Uruguayan team.
This Uruguayan team's like we underperform to what we want, and then when you think we're gonna underperform, we
I'm gonna
really
say
win.
2-0.
Exactly. The match of the week, obviously, Gremio versus Internacional.
The Grenal.
What are we thinking there for Gremio, or are we thinking Internacional continues?
I really want that game to be a tie because I think it's gonna be bad for both teams if they one or the other win.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say a 2-2.
2-2.
One goal by D'Alessandro, one goal by Thiago Gallardo on the Inter side, and 2 goals by Everton Cebolinha.
I think Gremio just has too much. I think they kind of their squad. I think is a little bit more ahead of Internacional. I see Gremio winning 2-1 in this one, just because of their
plausible.
ability, and at home too. In the final match that we're going to be discussing, Racing versus Alianza Lima in El Cilindro, in Argentina. What are we thinking there?
Racing 3-0. Because just like how they play, man, just with Becasese as their coach, he's a Sampaoli, Bielsa style. So I'm gonna say 3-0.
I always liked Racing.
3 goals by Lisandro Lopez.
Wow.
3 goals by the
revival.
Yeah,
the revival.
That old short guy and bold.
So yeah, I know. I think Racing also comes out with the 3 points. I don't quite know the extent of it, but I do think that they get the 3 points there. So yeah, we'll see. We'll get back to these results after the week happens.
Yes,
and
and they're gonna be completely wrong as always.
Exactly, and you guys are gonna see again how much of frauds we are again. But we really want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys like the new setup. We will be changing around our location quite a bit just because.
We live very far from each other.
Exactly. So sometimes you might see this setup. Sometimes you might see another setup that we're working on.
Surprise.
Stay tuned for that. Follow us on social media at Solamente Soccer on Twitter and Instagram. Rino, anything else that you want to add? Keep up with the comments.
Keep up with the comment.
Advice,
like, subscribe. Okay, see, I remember. Like, subscribe, and don't remember, we are in OTO PATAMAR.
We are in OTO PATAMAR. Thank you so much for
you guys.
watching. Thank you.